So you guys are trying to do what no team in the CFL has ever done, this crossover thing. Any idea
Yeah,
why
pretty
it's been
cool.
why has it been so hard for teams? You think it's just
Oh,
two
it's tough to
games?
win on the road, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure statistically there's some kind of stat that when teams go east from the west and vice versa, it's tougher to win. Luckily, we're right in the middle, you
Yes.
know. So maybe that'll play to our advantage.
What are the biggest challenges? I mean, you've done two road games before and got there. So what are the biggest challenges ahead of you guys here? Get where you want to go.
It's different from playing a home game. Obviously, it's an away game. You get to be really locked into your process. Very concise with your time management. All those things are very important. Montreal in and of itself is a very tough place to play. They do a great job. The crowd there is awesome, and they make it loud and tough to communicate and all those things. And they have a great football team. For us on offense, when I watch their defense, they're a very physical group, as I always say. They really rally to the ball hard and tackle and hit you. And make life difficult for you with a bunch of different looks, not just in the front, but in the back end as well. They're a really smart group of guys.
I don't know how much you pay attention to opposing and young quarterbacks, but what do you see in Davis Alexander that stands out?
What stands out to me about him is just his competitiveness. I really like the level in which he competes at. It doesn't really matter what the play is. He's going to bring in every snap. You could see it. With the way that he reacts, even on the sidelines and things like that. He's got a very strong arm. Obviously, there's a reason they decided to go with him a year back, and they had a great quarterback there in Cody Fajardo as well. But yeah, the thing that stands out to me about Davis is just how competitive he is, and he can get out of trouble with his feet. It's in this league, in any league, the more you can do and evade things when things break down, I think the better off you are at QB, and he can certainly do that.
Thanks.
What did you think when you saw Strevler go down in that game?
I was heartbroken. It's hard to put into words. I've been talking to him the last couple of days, and just there's not really anything you can say to make it better. I just love Chris, and everybody loves Chris, but I get to work very closely with him day in and day out, so I understand his work ethic and how much he cares about this sport, how much he cares about this organization and his teammates. So it was very tough to watch.
How difficult will it be not to have him on the field?
Difficult. He's an emotional leader for us, for sure. When he's out there, he does a great job, and on the sidelines, whatever that is, he takes his role very seriously and leads. And anytime you lose leadership like that, it makes it tough.
Is there any kind of do it for him kind of extra motivation for the team now, for the offense in particular?
I mean, we haven't had that discussion or anything like that, and I'm sure he wouldn't want us to have a discussion like that. But shoot, if you need to add another chip to your shoulder or something to motivate you, that's something you can certainly look at. Is when injuries like that happen, you really don't have any control over them. So you find a way to do another rep, you find a way to watch another half hour of film, whatever that looks like for you. Thinking about Chris and what he's going through right now can certainly motivate you.
Zach, what does this offense need to do to go on a run right now?
Play our game, protect the football, try to play a physical brand of football, and just execute. Be consistent. Try to be consistent as we possibly can. Like I said, Montreal does a great job of mixing up looks. So just understanding, what the fronts are, what the back end's doing, and for me, getting the ball into the hands of our playmakers. But just trying to be as consistent as possible with our execution.
You want to be perfect every week, and obviously it's pretty impossible to do that. But just knowing how well your defense is playing right now, does that kind of obviously just kind of help this offense's confidence going in, even though you guys are a little banged up in some areas right now?
I think it just lends its hand to the importance of playing three-phase football and complementary football, and understanding that they are doing a great job. Now, those things can change, in a game, right? Things happen, whether it's points off of weird stuff happening out there, or they give up a touchdown. Those things might happen, right? So you got to be able to react. But there's certainly an understanding of how well they're playing, and that really puts an emphasis on us to play a clean game.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have been a Grey Cup contender, playoff favorite pretty consistently since that win in 2019. Maybe it's not the way you personally approach it, but can it be a good thing for the guys to maybe relish being that underdog, whether it's a chip on your shoulder or whatever it may be, being road warriors?
I mean, you approach every game the same way. Whether you're the favorite or the underdog. Like I said before, if you need that extra motivation, that's something that can motivate you. Being in that role can maybe also take the pressure off you if you're somebody who gets bogged down by that kind of stuff, right? Once that whistle blows, as I always tell you guys, you're just out there trying to execute the game plan and do the best that you can. But yeah, leading up to it, it's a different feel for sure. I don't think I've ever played a playoff game in Montreal, so it's a really exciting challenge. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
What motivates you at this time of year?
Sorry?
What motivates you most at this time of
What motivates me the most is my teammates.
year?
It doesn't change this time of year, the beginning of the year, or in the off season. It's making sure that I leave no stone unturned to make sure that I can go out there and do the best that I possibly can. That and obviously trying to provide for my family. Of course.
And just one thought on how Terry Wilson did in that game, and just his possibility of having a bigger role.
Terry's done well for us when he's went in the short yardage stuff. So he's certainly proved himself in that respect. But I was excited for him that he got to go out there and play basically a whole game. I thought he did a good job. He'd be the first person to tell you that there's probably some plays that he wanted back. But I tell you that every week about my play too. So I think like I always say, you're going to get better and better with reps, right? So I think he got better as the game went on, and he will continue to get better with reps.
Are you a Blue Jays guy? Good looking on camera. No.
Thank you.